Ancestors, hear my plea. I just really need some therapy. Might just blow a fuse or go crazy. Keep my sanity strong.
When you can't afford a therapist, so you grow one yourself. Only $5. An old Asian man. So cute. In he goes. Bye. 2 hours later. 3 days later. Oh no, his brows. To his office. Sorry, dude.
It all started when I was a child and my family.
My therapist has lost her mind, and there's somebody right there. Anyways, so she said that I'm no longer allowed to apologize to people. I'm only allowed to thank them, which sounds crazy to me. So instead of saying, I'm sorry for running late, it's thank you for waiting on me. Because typically, women apologize for everything. We apologize for existing, and we feel like a burden. Not all of us, but some of us feel like a burden. Feel like a burden to our friends, family, whatever it is, even though those people care about us. And in changing that verbiage of what you say is what's changing the verbiage in our own heads, allowing us to exist without apologizing for existing. So, that's crazy to me. So if you needed to know that, there you go.
One of my favorite quotes I learned as a therapist and pass on to clients is, I would rather adjust my life to your absence than adjust my boundaries to accommodate your disrespect.
And these are the 4 most dangerous words that a woman can ever possibly say to you. Welcome to tonight's coaching video, guys. We got Gizmo over here in the back. So, what are those 4 words? I'm seeing a therapist. I have a therapist. Whenever you hear a woman talk about having a therapist or running off to therapy, that is your cue to run in the other direction, guys. Do not stick around. Okay? Because if you do, you will be in for some heavy mental punishment, a lot of just mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, spiritual exhaustion, because these women are a handful. Okay, they are a handful. And at the very core of these women, you will find that they are suffering from narcissistic personality disorder. Most women who are going to therapy are narcs. Make no mistake about it. And the reason they're running off to therapy is to pay a professional to enable their behavior, their bad behavior, so that they don't have to apologize for it, so that they can remove themselves of any guilt, so that they never have to feel guilty about how poorly they treat other people, especially the guy that they're in a relationship with. Okay, so a lot of times when these girls are running off to therapy, they're not really looking for help. Don't be fooled, guys. They're not looking to better themselves, improve their character, become better people, improve their personality, become more altruistic. No, instead, these women are merely looking for excuses to continue acting out the way they do. They're mostly, for the most part, they're looking for reinforcement for their bad behavior. And when you whip out your credit card and you pay somebody to tell you what you want to hear, sadly, most people will take your money. Okay, sadly. Yeah, and these people know that women are especially susceptible to this, right? These licensed professionals know. They'll never admit to it, but they know that these women will plop down those dollars. They will pay any price for you to tell them that it's not their fault. Okay, they will spend their hard-earned money, take time out of their day, and come to see you each week just so you can tell them that there's nothing wrong with them, no reason to feel guilty, and it's everyone else, girl. It's not you. You keep doing you. Oh yeah, you're losing all your friends. You're losing these great guys in your life that want to marry you off while you're still young. Yeah, you're basically pushing everybody away, including family members. But it's not you, it's them. It's them. It's not you. Change your environment, girl. They play all these mental gymnastics in your head to get you to think like, it isn't my fault. It isn't my fault. And what these girls really need is not therapy. They just need to hold themselves accountable. Okay, they need to look themselves in the mirror and go, hey, I need to start improving here. What am I doing that's causing this reaction in other people? What am I doing that's causing my life to not be happy, for me to always be in this constant state of depression and not feeling good about myself? And what do I need to do to fix myself? Because when it comes to guys, I mean, you know, both sexes, both genders suffer this, right? I mean, even for guys, we get the same feelings that they do. But instead of going to a therapist where they will, you know, basically act as an echo chamber for our, you know, our bad habits, instead, what we do is we look in the mirror and we go, hey, what's going on here? Because we're more introspective that way. And then we go out there and try to fix it. Okay, and while we're fixing it, we try to keep ourselves busy. We try to stay productive. We try to stay positive, and you know, we try to fix ourselves. Right? We take action. We don't pay somebody to sit in an office where they're basically going to rewire our brain to think that we have no responsibility or accountability whatsoever. So I'm just going to go through a few of these women's TikToks that I shared with you guys today. The first one was, just real quick, was the Asian woman who was like singing and doing this Buddhist type prayer about, I just need some therapy so I can keep my sanity and all this. And you can just see the patterns, guys. I mean, with all of the TikToks I shared with you tonight, all these girls in therapy. And by the way, it's not hard to find these social media posts, no matter what the platform is, with these chicks praising their therapist, praising the fact that they're in therapy. It's not hard to find these posts. So many of these girls are in therapy. I think the latest statistic is 1 out of 4. Almost 25% of the women out there are in therapy, at least the ones who admit to it. You know, there might be some who don't. But the ones who admit to it, 1 in 4 women out there these days, guys, means out of every 4 women you meet, one of those bitches is crazy. Right? Maybe it's not crazy, but just narcissistic and toxic and will never hold herself accountable. So you will see the pattern behavior. So the first one was the Asian girl, and then the second one was like some little therapist doll, some Asian guy. I think that was a little racist. Right? And they're like, oh, my little Asian racist, my little Asian therapist that I can grow. Yeah, it's really even kind of sickening at this point that, I mean, they're even joking about like they wish they could grow this like mini therapist who will basically tell them everything they want to hear. Not what they need to hear, but what they want to hear. Right? And if you look around the world today, our environment, I mean, culture at large, is one big therapist for women, right? Because all they do is enable women. All they do is enable their bad behavior and tell them like, oh, you go, girl. Yeah, you don't need a man. Oh, if any man ever tries to tell you you're wrong, if he ever tries to correct you, yeah, you get in his face and you tell him stop mansplaining. You know, they just want to remove any responsibility from the girl whatsoever to just be a decent human being. All right. The other TikTok that I also included tonight was the girl with the red hair. She was actually a licensed therapist. Can you believe that? This chick, back in the day, they would never let her near her office. She'd be working at the record store. You guys who are part of my generation. She'd be working at like Tower Records or the warehouse or something. She would not be working as a licensed professional, working on people's psychiatric care, I guess. But you will see a lot of these therapists these days looking exactly like that. There was one where this chick is a therapist and she has a pretty big social media following. She's got tattoos all over her body. She's got blue and green hair. So she's got the nose piercing, the bull ring right through her nose, looking like a cow. So, I mean, what kind of advice do you think you're going to get from her? If you go in and you're a female and you're going to tell, you know, you're telling her about your boyfriend, you know, and how your boyfriend wants a traditional relationship. She'll be like, oh, patriarchy. Don't let him cross your boundaries, girl. Don't let him cross your boundaries. And you notice that's a common theme with these girls who are in therapy, right? That's a common theme that these therapists instill in their female clients, is the fact that you need to have all these boundaries. And it gets to the point where the thing about boundaries is you have to have social acuity to understand what are healthy boundaries versus what are just asshole boundaries, right? I mean, if somebody's just being nice to you and saying hello, oh, I didn't feel like saying hello to you today. Who said you could say hello to me? Who gave you that right? Right? You hear a lot of these modern women just acting out like that, even if you're just like, hi, like a friendly hi. Who gave you that permission, mister? Thank her therapist. Right? Thank her therapist. These are the women who are instilling these crazy, ridiculous, nonsensical boundaries in these girls where they can't even just act like a normal person anymore. And then, I mean, for me, when I see these girls out there, I can spot these girls immediately that they're seeing a therapist because they come off to me as socially inept. Right? They're just like socially awkward in their own way, even if they're decent looking. And I can tell, a lot of times I'll be like, have you ever seen a therapist? And they, oh, I'm seeing one now. How'd you know? What's wrong with that? Do you have something to say? You know, and immediately you sense the disdain, the hostility. He's like, oh, he's crossing my boundaries. So that's not always a positive thing, is when you try to empower somebody who should not be empowered. Right, which is most women in therapy. Most women in therapy don't need to go to multiple sessions. They don't need to take any antidepressants or any medications. They really just need to hear the truth. Okay, and I really wish these licensed professionals would step up and stop trading ethics for those sweet dollars that she's forking over to you, and just be honest with her. Because you could end her woes within one session if you just tell her the truth, if you just hold her accountable. But no, I gotta keep her recurring. I gotta keep her coming back in pain. Oh, I gotta keep her forking over that money, right? And I mean, I even talked about my ex from 2006, right? Well, towards the end of our relationship, she turned into a terrible person, just terrible, right? And unreasonable. And full of herself, just grandiosity and all that. Cash is coughing it up over here. In any case, for some reason, she went to go see a therapist at the behest of her aunt, of course, right? And when she got out of that first therapy session, I mean, I didn't know back then, but now I know just because I've just seen the patterns. But she came out just a 10 times more worse and horrendous person, to the point where not only did she lose me, but she started to lose friends. People just did not want to talk to her, and it's like, you're just turning into a bad person, right? You're just turning into a person who just is no fun to hang out with. And you notice that about these chicks who are in therapy. They're just no fun, man. They just can't let loose. It's always like, oh, did he cross my boundary like 10 minutes ago when he handed me that straw for my water? Is that patriarchy? They put you into this, like, mental fog where you're literally living in this state of paranoia that somebody's constantly trying to take advantage of you. Somebody's constantly, trying to enforce force their beliefs on you. Somebody's constantly, trying to disrespect your boundaries. So the third girl, blonde girl, sitting in her car, what did she say? She said, I was talking to my therapist, and she said, I'm no longer allowed to apologize to people. You know, and sadly, I've heard a lot of these females and therapists mimic the same thing. Say exactly the same. Oh, my therapist told me stop apologizing. And it's like, dude, you know what? When you're wrong, you need to apologize, right? If you did something wrong, you should apologize, because if you don't, the situation will escalate. Okay? It's just basic common sense. And if the situation doesn't escalate, guess what? That person's going to hold resentment towards you. Okay? It's just basic social dynamics. And this is the thing about therapists. They just throw social dynamics completely out the window. And trust me, I know about social dynamics. I'm a professional pickup artist. I have been socializing out there for the last 3 decades. So I have a very high level of social acuity, social calibration, and social awareness, right? And I know how people will react to somebody who just has all these boundaries, refuses to apologize. It's not my fault. Let me play all these mental gymnastics in my head until it's your fault. You know, this is what makes these chicks unbearable. And this is why I tell you guys, stay far away from these girls, and it's just not worth it, because they will just cause you lots of headache and lots of chaos in your life. They will drive you nuts. They will drive you just mad anytime you guys have any conflict, which will be very often, because I mean, you can tell her the slightest thing, like, hey, I kind of feel like pizza today. You want to get a pizza with me? You know, totally innocent. And she'll be like, what makes you think I want pizza? Why is there something wrong with why you can't ask me what I want? Am I just not worth that? Do you feel like you're above me because of the patriarchy? Do you understand what year we're living in, mister? It's not, 1950 anymore. And then she'll start going that diatribe, and you'll be like, dude, I just wanted to get a pizza, man. And that's that basic lack of just social awareness that makes these chicks in therapy look totally inept and retarded. As always, share your comments below in my comment section. Anything I might have missed, anything you would like to add, any experiences you've had that you want to share with the tribe, please share them in our comment section below. I always love to see you guys in my comments. I always love to read your comments, so drop those comments below. And until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets, signing out here from my Range Rover, doing the last series of coaching videos in this car. I'm very sad, but I will be selling it very soon. So this is going to be the last round of these coaching videos we're going to do here in my Range Rover. We have a lot of memories in this car. You guys probably learned a ton from me teaching you from this car. And this was the first car that I bought once my channel started to get traction and my business started to get traction. This was the first nice car that I bought myself in a long time. So it's very sad to have to let it go. And this has actually been the most reliable. You guys aren't going to believe this, because a lot of you guys are like, Range Rover, oh my God, it must be in the shop all the time. No, this has been the most reliable car I've ever owned. It has never left me on the side of the road. I've never had electrical gremlins or engine problems or anything like that. It's been maintenance free, and that's the thing about these luxury cars, is you have to keep up with the maintenance. As long as you do that, the car will not let you down. So you have a lot of these bonehead owners who will buy these luxury cars, never take them in for maintenance, never do the oil changes, and just never take care of them. And then when they break down, they'll get on all these forums and talk about what a terrible car it is. And it's like, no, dude, you just have to maintain it. It's not cheap to maintain it, but you know what? It won't let you down if you do. So I have no problem getting another one, but there are other cars I'm looking at right now, so we'll see, but I'm sad to let it go, and I'm gonna replace it with something newer, because I've had it for a while now, so I think it's about that time. And I held on to it longer than I should have, just because of sentimental reasons, but gonna miss this car. But as always, make sure you smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Do it for me, do it for Cash, do it for Gizmo, and do it for the Range Rover. Please smash that like button below. Also hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my channel, so make sure you're subscribed as well, because too many of you guys are on my channel, not yet subscribed, but you're watching all these vids, so help a brother out, man. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it. And for all of you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I'm teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. Same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students now all around the world are out there approaching and closing every single week. And I kid you not, we are making things happen every single week, no matter how high gas prices go, no matter what boneheads are in the White House, no matter what kind of divisions going on in the world. We're continuing to live our lives at the highest level. And I want you to join us. I want you to become one of us. And again, this is the absolute best way to support my work. And you're going to get a ton of value from it. Okay? I promise you, you're going to get a ton of value out of my 7 Months Mastery program. And right now, the first month is only $1. It's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. So take advantage of it. It's really easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I'm out from the Rover for one of the last times. That made me very sad.